But the difference is like, I wanted this to happen. I want that drop to happen. So I would have the opportunity to position myself to profit from it and not just put myself in and then be at the motion like poop in the ocean, just floating wherever the tide will take you. I chose to be in that position because I had a very high expectation or of what I was going to have the outcome. And it works and worked out. The problem with most of us is that we can't detach. We just take that loss, and in our minds, it's like, I'm a freaking loser. It's over because I took that loss. I can make it back. It's not like that. Sometimes trading is like a soccer game, guys. Just think of it. When you see, just watch. It can be a basketball, whatever you want to take, but I'm going to use soccer. You watch a soccer game. You watch Messi, Neymar, or any of the best players out there, right? When they go, they take a shot at the goal, they miss. They just go to back of the field and don't try anything anymore. They just put their hand on the grass and start crying, and then say, "Oh, that's it." And now I'm not, in a rut, and that's it. I give up. That's not how it is. Trading is like you follow the same process over and over and over and over and over. And as long as you have a strategy, and in this case, when you have that huge opportunity which the market is giving to us, which is a dip, you don't second guess, you don't lose sleep at night, you find excitement on those moments. Because I guarantee you, that's when you're gonna make a lot of money in your life. You can make an extraordinary living trading 20, 30 minutes a day, which I want every single one of you to do it. But there's nothing wrong in putting alerts, crazy alerts out there. Like last week, if you go back to the video that I did last week here in the room, how many of these got filled? I got filled in a ton of them, at least like 8. And this was 2 Fridays ago. And I put the G2C orders. I got filled a week after, this past Thursday and Friday. So it's just a matter of putting the seeds out there, waiting for them to get filled, and then you just go and take the profit and enjoy it. But no, everybody just like to think, fuck, excuse my French, but I bought this and it's going against me. This sucks. This sucks. No, this is horrible. That's not how stock trading works if you're talking about swings. Sometimes you just have to sit and wait a little bit. You buy something that is at discount. Always ask yourself, where is this coming from? And just detach yourself. Last few weeks, last few days, I know I have friends that, just, well, 1 second. That were depressed, couldn't sleep at night, or looking at the ceiling because their positions were negative. Same conversation that I had with some of them a year, 2, 3 years ago. And then when the market starts to go up, they're all happy like little butterflies. F you. That's not how trading is done. Grow up, grow some balls. See whatever one's coming down as opportunity. And it's, you're grown people. Realize when you see an opportunity and just go for it. Stop seeing the negative part. The market's not gonna go to zero. It didn't go last year when we had that, the huge, everybody in the world thought everybody was going to die because of COVID. What happened? Market took off. So why do you think it's gonna happen now under regular normal conditions? It's just gonna tank and go to zero? Come on, people. And plus, whatever I'm doing here, any other the mods are doing, we're sharing what we're doing. I was down, I guarantee you. Nobody was down in this room at some point last week more than I was. F it. Because I bought a discount. Last Thursday and Friday, I killed it selling these positions. Did it feel good while I was going against me a ton? It didn't feel good, it didn't feel bad. It was just a fact. Did I wake up a couple times in the middle of the night with some crazy dreams, like some of the stocks I'm in went to zero? Yeah, I don't know why, but the brain always is trying to play this, really, really odd, games with us. You don't want to. You think you're very strong and makes sense in your mind. But I still had some nights when I had vivid dreams that Fubo was trading at $14. And I was like, so real that I would be like, I would wake up and I don't go back to sleep because I don't want to go through that feeling again. But it's just the brain, for some reason, trying to protect us or tricking us. But at one point, you have to go and start to rationalize things and say, okay, this is just nonsense. It's just, but we are wired not to have fear, to feel comfortable. I already talked about that 100 times, right? So the brain is always trying to get us to cut off that link that is whatever is making us go through that feeling of discomfort or fear, right? And sometimes that that motion, that force that the brain make us do is cut the losing position. Because what does that feel? It feels like there's no more pain, right? It was hurting, hurting, hurting. But if I stop this position, even though I take a huge loss, the pain is gone. It's going to be sad, but then I won't feel more any. I won't feel any more discomfort and any more pain. There must be pain. There's nothing wrong with it. This is something that the fear we just have in our minds, and we make a huge castle. How many times in our lives you thought something was like the end of the world, something terrible was going to happen, and then nothing happened? Not even 10% of what we expect that was going to happen. That's not how it works. Our brain's always overshooting for the worst case scenario. And the bad thing is like we act based on that instead of try to rationalize and see what we're really doing and how we really should act. You have to always step yourself out of the box. Otherwise, you're thinking like everybody else. And you know what everybody else is doing? Nothing with their lives. They're living miserable lives. They're doing things that they hate. Why? Because they're just going on impulse or on instinct. You have to go use your brains, guys. That's why we're doing this here. We want you to be thinking for yourselves. And a lot of times I talk and I say, I know people that in the last few days were probably upset with me or the other mods. Oh, you call this and it's down a lot. I was going through that process. I'm not calling something or I'm not taking a trade that I'm not in the trade. So I was negative on it. But the difference is like I wanted this to happen. I want that drop to happen. So I would have the opportunity to position myself to profit from it and not just put myself in and then be at the motion like poop in the ocean, just floating wherever the tide will take you. I chose to be in that position because I had a very high expectation or of what I was going to have the outcome. And it works and worked out. I'm not saying, for God's sake, don't think I'm not saying you're a genius, but I'm not. Because if I was a genius, I would have bought at the bottom, right? But I have learned that I have to take advantage of opportunity and position myself. Because I guarantee you one thing, and I'm not going to say it's going to happen today, tomorrow, whatever, but the market is going to go back and take off again. Whatever was happening 2-3 weeks ago, just making new highs, is going to happen again. All these names is going to be back. Yeah, there's rotation. People went to energy, blah blah blah. There's rotation every few months, anyways, for everything. Everything is going to go back. The buyers are going to come back to Nasdaq stocks, to technology stocks. They're going to start take off. And you know what? You're going to be wishing that you bought when we had that opportunity. You're going to have that sick feeling that there was a party that you were invited and you didn't show up and it was awesome. You know how that feeling is. So why put yourself to that position to always be feeling like that? Right? So take the position, see when you buy a discount and then enjoy, because that's the only way to get out of whatever rut or position in your life that you're uncomfortable, you hate to be right now. You should do something that is uncomfortable. Because if you're just doing everything that feels good, feels awesome, you know what feels good, feels awesome? Doing nothing, being in the sofa, watching freaking stupid episodes of whatever, or watching people playing sports. They're making millions and millions. They're enjoying their lives and living life the way it's supposed to be lived. And you're being just a spectator. Why? Because you just want comfort. Comfort won't take you anywhere, right? And in the end, any of us is upset because we don't achieve or get things in life that we want to, just because, oh, I was just having a good time. I didn't want to have any heat. Let me tell you something. It's if you don't have any heat, if you don't get any heat, if you don't do anything that's uncomfortable, you're not going anywhere in life. You're going to be exactly where you are 3, 5, 10, 15, 30 years from now. Then you're going to have that day when you die, and you're just going to, the last thought in your mind will be like, I effed up. I had all these opportunities. I had everything in my hand and I didn't do anything. You're here in the United States, which is the most beautiful country in the world. I've been every single country in this world. I lived in most of these countries. I spent time on it. And I guarantee you, there is nowhere where you have as many opportunities to grow and make something out of yourself than in the United States. I love this country. And I wasn't born here. You guys know I wasn't born here. I came here, I was already an adult. And I came with nothing, and I made everything that I have today. I made a lot, I lost a lot, then I lost everything, I made everything back, and now I made everything back 10 times over. So everything, and I'm not any smarter than any of you. But what I do have, then uh, some of you don't have, you have, but you just can't find, is that hunger to go and get it and to make it happen. It's very easy to just to go walk around and say, oh, that guy is lucky, that guy is lucky, that guy is lucky. That's not freaking thing about lucky. Is how much sweat you put into this. I don't have to be doing this anymore. 2 weeks ago, I was out 10 o'clock at night. I went to bed. I was like, you know what? I just had an idea to change the scanner. 10 o'clock. So I called my coder and friend, and I was like, hey, do you have 10 minutes? I just, have this idea. Let's do some back testing. 10 o'clock at night, Saturday. You know what time we were done? Noon on Sunday. We worked for 14 hours through the night. Then for next 3, 4 days, I was dead because my body can't catch up anymore when I pull those. I used to do that all the time, 3, 4 times a week. I wouldn't feel anything. Now, I don't know. Honestly, I'm just getting old, I guess. Is a fact. It's sad, but it is what it is. And I don't need to do this, but I did. Why? Because I have that hunger to be better and better, and just everything that I do to be as perfect as I can, to improve as much as I can. Then I have a call from someone the other day. It's like, oh, trading sucks. Oh, okay. Tell me about how long have you been, doing back testing, looking over your trades. Oh, I don't believe you looking over my trades. What do you mean? Oh, it takes a long time. I rather just doing real time. I just hang up. I don't even have time to be talking with nonsense like that. So uh, let me tell you something. Every single one of you are capable to have, I mean, really anything you want in life. I'm not saying that you work to have, everything, because then there's just a rat race. You're not going to get anywhere. But you can have extraordinary life pretty much with anything you wish for, travel anywhere you want to do, especially when you talk about trading. But no, lots of us just choose to be the victims. And let me tell you something, the world doesn't give a crap if you feel that you feel great or if you feel like a victim. It's just going to keep rolling. You die, not 1 second of the universe, the speckle of dust in the universe, gonna skip a beat. It's just everything just gonna keep rolling. Okay. So if you have success or if you don't, the world doesn't mean anything. Right. So, and if you have too much ego, you think too much of yourself, always remind yourself of this. 2 generations, 2 generations. If you're lucky, that's all it takes for you to be nothing. Not like your existence here on earth never happened. Nobody remembers you, because once, if you have grandkids and they're gone, you meet them and then they're gone. That's it. There's nobody to remember you. So if you think too much of yourself now, you're a big shot, big dick, whatever, you're going to be nothing after 2 generations. You're done. So have some love around, spread some love, put some respect, because in the end, you really, all of us, we're really nothing. So what you have to do is make our existence here as better as we can, help as many people as we can, as much as we can, and then when it comes our time, we have that feeling of at least we accomplished something and we feel proud of ourselves. Okay, and with that, I have one last thing that I want to go back and talk to the room. You guys remember a few weeks ago, Santa, she came in, and Santa, if you're there, I don't want to put you on the spot, right? But that was a fact. We came in the room, and she had, uh, she was having issues. She wasn't getting, she didn't know what to do. She was, I think, what was her ratio before, Benito? She was making money like in 20% of the trades, losing like in 70, 80%. Okay, her stats right now in the last 3 weeks since that happened, and we're going to bring her here in a couple of weeks to talk to the room. Since that day, what are the stats? since that day, and that's off as of when that was off as the Thursday, March 4th. So as of last March 4th, she took 36 trades, 28 trades were wins, 5 were losers, and 3 were break evens. So get that,
Hey,
36
awesome,
trades,
Santa.
28 wins, 5 losers, and the 5 losers on average, they're less than the smallest win. Take that in consideration. The 5 losers out of 36 trades were less than the smallest wins that she had, and 3 are break even. Okay, so sometimes, like I said, I mentioned many times before, sometimes it's just a little tweak, 1 degree of difference on how we talk about things, and it should click, and then we can move on and start doing this the right way, the way your brain absorbs and relates to it, on how to perform. Right, everybody remembers that call, that Friday, right, that I came in really hot because I was driving, and I just kept hearing doesn't work, doesn't work, doesn't work. I was like, I just couldn't wait to get home. I don't know how I didn't get a ticket. And I know I came in a low, but I'm passionate about this because I do this and I know it works. But we were able to get to her, to talk to her. I think spoke with her about 3 times, and once I say another 3 or 4 weeks, I'm gonna figure out something to whatever the way I spoke with her to do a webinar, just to maybe the way he helped her to fix the way she was doing, and might be able to help some others that would have be easier to learn that way. And uh, but I'm gonna do this in about 2 3 weeks, okay? But look at what a difference it makes. Just we'll talk about 3 weeks, 4 weeks since that Friday, right? So you just have to put yourself out there and and take that chance and take and detach yourselves. Don't You're not just as good as your last trade. If you think like that, then you're screwed. Because if your ratio is, so win ratio is 70%, the 3 times that you wrong, if they're like in a row, which can be 30 out of 100 times, is really kind of, you're just going to be wasting time when you could be looking into other opportunities. All right. Sorry, guys, I answered one question and pow, I went all over. But okay, I'm going to shut up now.